No, I just made it up as I
You
went.
made it up in the night? All right, I thought you did. I thought you did.
Honestly, most of the prep that I did was the characters, what section of Pittsburgh was going to happen, and a friend of mine, Jason, he runs a game where it was focused on the Three Rivers, and I thought that was really cool, so I used some of his themes for that. So.
Huh. And so I touched the UPS trucks, and I had found out that the UPS trucks were had been in space and
modified,
and that they had been given to the alien race, the Greys, by UPS.
This is not like an endorsement of UPS or anything. I actually used to work there at one time, but it just I had UPS tape, and I just sort of put it in the story. It just found its way in. So.
And so at that point, we realized that UPS was working with the aliens.
Yeah, they were in collusion. So.
And some of the players had went to go blow up the
drill.
The drill. Now, this cast of characters, I couldn't even.
There was a ex-con trucker,
tell
had
about
a hunting rifle. What's that?
Tell him about his mutations.
Oh yeah, he got like this like exoskeleton. Later, he got a second head. There was a trunk on each head, tusks.
Yeah.
I don't know. The wannabe gangbanger grew hands off of his shoulders, off of his elbows.
He had 6 hands and 2 arms.
He was able to throw gang signs up everywhere.
He really enjoyed that. And then the next character was I have him written down.
Well, there's the old lady with the cats who's a lawyer.
I take good notes. I'm a player that takes good notes. Marcus.
Marcus, that's right.
Yeah, Marcus was a little out there. Marcus was a survivalist, and it was played by another female player. About half the group is actually female this time. Which is kind of unusual for my.
Yeah, that's probably. Is that more than you're used to playing with?
Definitely. I mean, I've had groups and girls in my groups before, even a couple, but I've never had half the.
In my experience, that seems to be more prevalent at conventions. It's just I don't know. It just is.
I see that. And Marcus was convinced that if he put aluminum foil over people's heads, that it would protect them.
So there were lots of bad puns, like every time the Reynolds wrap didn't work, I said, "Ooh, foiled again."
Foiled again.
Yeah, it was pretty lame.
That was funny though.
But yeah, that character went to Renfest, so he was actually running around with like a Viking helmet and chainmail, and it was pretty ridiculous. Then there was your character with the spikes.
My character, Spikes, the ex-cop, divorce cop.
Then
Caleb.
Yeah, one of my friends just finished up another game, and he looked like he was wandering around. I'm like, yeah, come play. And his character was this strange spider with like these inflatable sacs that came out of his back that filled with like lighter gas than air, and he was able to float. And, then there was the person covered in slime with the 15-inch claws.
Yeah, that was Caleb.
Yeah.
The firefighter.
And then there was a person that grew the moth wings.
That was Rick.
So lots of strange characters. One was like a Boy Scout. I don't know. One was a fireman. I tried to pick normal, everyday Pittsburghers. A little bit of, gamey kind of fun side to it. And then just totally screw them up and give them all kinds of weird traits.
So. And then the last character was Marge, the ex-lawyer. She was retired. And this character was just a riot, man. Marge had developed some pretty serious psychic abilities. And she was also striped. She mutated striped into black and silver stripes.
Yeah.
Like a zebra.
And she did a lot of like the Vulcan mind meld kind of thing, where she would like sink her fingers into the temples of the aliens and make them do things, or try to sort of poison the telepathy that was going on with the aliens and the people. Oh, the UPS people, or the people that were stacked like cordwood in the back of the UPS truck, were being sort of controlled. And they were helping in removing dirt and water from the drill site. And
so our characters, well, not our characters, but the other player characters in the party had gotten close enough to the drill to get some explosives within the vicinity of it.
So in a combination of levitation, rifle shots, there was fire extinguishers, directing, I don't know, like lateral movement for the levitating stuff. Dynamite. So anyway, they blow the drill up. That's right. There was someone, the Mothwing character was Molotov cocktailing all the brainwashed UPS labeled people.
Yeah.
So there were people screaming and dying. But anyway, they blow up the drill, and then the one character plugged into the UPS truck, used that what's the word?
Telekinetic?
telekinetic ability of the vehicle to basically put all the UPS trucks that were circling the drill site in the air to provide cover. So all the shrapnel from the drill basically hit the trucks, which I thought was pretty inventive. I didn't see that coming.
And while this is happening, we forgot to mention that the mothership had shot a beam down to the drill.
Yeah, and there was beams of energy from all the UPS or all the UFOs
to each other, like a giant
spoked wheel.
Yeah,
I guess
in the sky.
And so they were. They later learned that they were basically, taking energy out of that specific part.
That specific part.
Some sort of energy.
So after that's the mothership crash, correct?
That's right. That's because Marge, the old cat lady, had started sending all these strange messages to the aliens that really just messed with their logic and basically just crashed their whole system. Because of the drill breaking, also an energy beam went back. So they were sending energy down, and then they were going to feed it, but it all just came as a rush, and all the ships crashed. Then one crashed on top of the PPG Building in Pittsburgh,
which looks like a castle made out of glass.
It's like a glass castle, really.
It's cool.
I could probably put a link down below if I get a link for it or whatever. But then they basically levitated the whole UPS truck and used the telekinetic ability to drive backwards essentially through the air. They parked on top of the PPG Building, attacked all the aliens in various ways. Right. And then they assaulted the ship.
We got into the ship, and the ship had hallways like it was
another spoked wheel.
Wheel. And when we first got in there, we were kind of hesitant to split up.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of banter, and I think I just quoted Han Solo.
It was very much like a spaghetti western where the old lady and your character with the long tail and spikes just started walking down one of the main corridors.
We'll just go down the hall.
And they were using psychic abilities to tell where they were coming from, right. So they knew where they were. There was going to be a confrontation like the OK Corral. So
then it got serious.
It got a little ugly, but none of the characters actually died. I was a little shocked by that, but it all worked out in their favor.
The old lady though had stunned one of the Greys, and she had knitting needles
that she pulled out of her hair.
Oh, the way he roleplayed this, man, it was awesome.
His facial expressions really sold.
He was really good. Yeah,
he was like lunging through the air, and every chance I got, the Moo would come up just to shock everybody. He was using pens as props for stabbing. So anyway, it's a big slaughterhouse. They kill all these aliens and the ship were smaller, and they just killed them all. And in the center was this giant brain with nubs for arms and legs.
I did get hit by an energy ray, but I survived. I had some armor on.
Yeah, the armor helps.
I had a flak jacket. And then we got into this the main part where the mother brain was.
Yeah, the mother brain, I guess is a good way to describe it.
And it didn't really have eyes, but it had kind of mucus.
Oh, it had cataracts, and basically everything was atrophying that it didn't use, and its brain was expanding.
Its appendages were nubby.
Oh, and there was tentacles all through the ship, and that's how it controlled everything. Yeah. So the same character that had plugged himself into the UPS vehicle started plugging himself into the brain, and then they decided that they needed more people to help. So
he was making great sound effects when he was plugging himself.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just grossed out one of the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
And so then Grandma had decided that she was going to strip down.
She needed more contact.
She needed more surface area contact between herself and the brain.
And lunged
in, and her and the wannabe gangster kid fried it, basically. Right?
Yeah, they fried it, and they were able to steer the ship back home. Because like I said, this is the big reveal. At this point, the globe was starting to fizzle out. And they realized they were in space.
We realized we were in space.
And buildings were floating up. Gravity went nowhere. It was all zero gravity.
So we were able to use the mothership to guide Pittsburgh back down to where there was a lake now where it used to be, and put it back.
Oh, no, actually, it was just a ship.
Oh, it's just a ship.
Yeah, so there was a giant hole that was cut out, and it just filled in with water.
Oh, so we never got Pittsburgh back?
No, Pittsburgh's still floating.
Oh, I didn't know.
The Golden Triangle is still floating through space. It's,
It's just on its way. It's a comet now.
It might form another moon. Who knows? And then came down, and instead of hiding, because they still had all their mutations,
Mhm.
they went on Oprah, Jerry Springer.
And we discovered that there was an underground spiritual river, right?
Yeah.
And that they were stealing this energy
For some unknown purpose.
unknown reason. We never found out the connection between UPS and the aliens either.
No, you just basically know that in some way or other, UPS was supporting this endeavor.
Yeah. But I had a lot of laughs and I had a lot of fun. There was some intrigue in there and some mystery. Some
a lot of
problem
strange
solving.
things.
A lot of strange things. Very bizarre. Weird Pittsburgh was definitely the right name for it.
Yeah, someone said, I don't know about weird, bizarre maybe. I was like, yeah,
Maybe
weird,
bizarre.
bizarre. I don't know. They both fit.
But we've had a great time at GASCON. Tim's got to go run his 30th game in this weekend.
I got to run my 6th game of the convention.
All right.
I've run, what, 4? No, that's right. I've played 1, and I'm going to run 3. Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes.
It does.
I had to look at the back of my convention thing and see what game and where I'm supposed to be, and I just, zombify myself there.
But you have quite a reputation here. You do.
Oh, yeah, people like my games, or they know me. Or there was one guy that came to a Weird Pittsburgh game. He looked at all the diagrams and stuff that I had, pictures, and then he walked away.
I think it was too strange for you.
So it might have been a little too strange for him. So,
but you kind of have that reputation as
yeah, I
games.
don't know. I really like to have fun.
Yeah.
And I like to make people laugh, and I like to have people's faces make strange, like, whoa, what, whoa, those kind of faces. I just enjoy that. So
you actually, I noticed that you enjoy the actual act of telling the game more than I do. I enjoy creating the game more.
Okay.
But you enjoy yourself way more at the table than I do.
Yeah, I really like to be in that moment, and I like to take the paranoid delusions of players, as I said before, and feed them into the game. And a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, you probably had that plan the whole time." I'm like, no, I
thought it a couple of times. I mean, he pulled it off.
Yeah, I don't know. I can do that. There are times when I hit the brick wall and I can't do it, but most of the time I can. So.
Well, I've enjoyed myself here at GASPCON.
Thanks for coming, man.
Hey, thank you. Pleasure to meet you. And we'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you ever get a chance to come to GASCON, I highly recommend it. It's kind of a small convention.
It is a small convention. It's not Gen Con or Origins, anywhere near that, but it's for gamers by gamers, so it has a little bit of charm and kind of rustic appeal.
I mean, I'm not going to say that's small, that you're limited to like what game that you're going to have, because there's 30 games going on at once at all times. Yeah. So I mean,
lots of board gaming, miniatures games, role playing games.
Yeah, there is. Yep. And the chicken game.
Why did the chicken?
This weird rock paper scissors jousting too.
Oh yeah. I don't really do too much with that.
I didn't do it either, but
I think you can win prizes, something like that. So.
They had a silent auction too. That was cool.
Oh yeah, I have a giant pile of books. It's literally about 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Of course, I think about half of that is the stuff you brought, maybe a third.
I bought some stuff.
But I got like Rune Quest and all kinds of old stuff. He bought a bunch of miniature stuff.
Tim bought me All Flesh Must Be Eaten.
Yeah, I figured Pittsburgh's sort of the zombie capital of
I didn't
the
know
world. That. Because like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
And it has a modern D20.
Yeah, the original Dawn of the Dead was filmed in Monroeville Mall, which is, I don't know, probably about half an hour away from here.
And part of it was in your hometown too, or like?
Oh, just in the Night of the Living Dead, some of the towns that flash across the screen are just local towns that I'm in every day. So.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Zelianople's kind of north of here, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm actually running a little bit late, so I'm gonna go.
All right.
Run a serial killer game.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I'm gonna try to get some sleep before I have to go.
All right, yeah, I gotta take him to the bus tomorrow. So, all right, everyone, I'll let him upload his. I'll probably upload mine tomorrow, probably. So this will be I don't know, kind of late simulcast. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
So, see ya.